My name is Shelby Collins. I'm 32 years old. And last March, my own father stood up in a courtroom and told a judge I wasn't his daughter. He called me an imposter, a fraud, a stranger who crawled out of nowhere to steal what he believed was rightfully his, my mother's life savings. Her house. Everything she spent 41 years building. He was loud. He was certain. He had a lawyer, a stack of papers, and a story he'd rehearsed for weeks. What he did not have was the sealed envelope sitting in my lawyer's briefcase. The one from the Pentagon. The one that held 15 years of my life he had chosen to erase. The judge opened it. And after that, my father never spoke the same way again. Welcome back to Revenge Finally Stories, where we share real-life inspired tales of family betrayal and the quiet strength it takes to stand your ground. If you've ever had someone try to erase you just to take what they wanted, drop a comment below. Hit subscribe, because this one is going to be different. I live in Northern Virginia. Small apartment, 12 minutes from work. I'm a cybersecurity analyst at a private defense contractor. The kind of place where your badge gets scanned 3 times before you reach your desk, and nobody asks what you did over the weekend because half of them can't answer that question either. I like routine. Up at 5:15. Coffee at 5:22. 8 years in uniform will do that to you. I enlisted at 18, straight out of a Greyhound station with a duffel bag and a GED. Army intelligence. The specifics live in filing cabinets I'll never see again. For 8 years, I existed in government systems, but nowhere a small-town lawyer would ever think to look. My father's name is Gerald Collins. He sells used cars in a town where everyone's already bought one. He has opinions about everything and regrets about nothing. In 1999, I was 17. I had a letter from the University of Virginia, partial scholarship, enough to make it work if I kept my grades up. I showed it to my mother first. Ruth sat at the kitchen table and read it twice, pressing her finger under every line like she was memorizing it. Her eyes got wet, but she didn't cry. She just said, "Good. This is good." Then Gerald came home. He read the letter standing up. Didn't sit down. Didn't smile. "College is a scam. I need you at the lot." I told him I was going. He pushed the letter back across the counter with 2 fingers, like it was contaminated. "You work for me or you leave. Those are the options." I went to my room. I packed 1 backpack. Jeans, 3 shirts, the letter, $42. Gerald stood in the hallway. He didn't stop me. He said, "Walk out that door and you're done. No calls, no coming back." I walked. It was 9:14 at night, and I did not look back. What Gerald never knew, what he never bothered to find out, was that Ruth and I never stopped talking. Not once. Not for a single year. I wrote her letters through my Aunt Maggie's address. Maggie hand-delivered them. Ruth wrote back the same way. Gerald never checked Maggie's mail. He never asked. He assumed I was gone and that Ruth had accepted it. He was wrong about both. I turned 18 at a bus station in Richmond. The day I passed my GED, I walked into a recruiting office and signed before lunch. Army intelligence. For deployments. 2 commendations, partially declassified. Promoted faster than anyone in my intake class. I had a career Gerald couldn't pronounce, and a security clearance he couldn't imagine. But the tin box Ruth kept under her bed, blue paint chipped at the corners, holding every letter I ever sent, that mattered more than any of it. Ruth was diagnosed with lung cancer in the fall of 2024. Stage 4. The doctor said 6 months. She made it to 5. The last time I saw her alive, it was December. Cold enough that Maggie had to scrape the windshield twice on the drive over. Ruth was on the porch in 38-degree weather, a quilt over her legs, watching the empty street the way she always had. She reached for my hand, same grip as when I was 6 years old crossing a parking lot at church. She said, "Your father will come for the money. Promise me you won't let him take what I saved for you." I promised. That was the last real conversation we had. Ruth left everything to me. The house. A savings account she'd built over 41 years of cutting coupons and skipping vacations. $217,000. Gerald wasn't a beneficiary. They'd been divorced for 22 years. 2 weeks after the will reading, I received a certified letter. Gerald Collins was contesting the will. His attorney claimed the woman identifying herself as Shelby and Collins was a fraudulent party using a stolen identity. The logic was built on absence. 8 years with no civilian tax filings, no voter registration, no social media, no utility bills. His lawyer wasn't building a case on evidence. He was building it on gaps. What neither of them understood was that those gaps had a name: the United States Army. I called a probate attorney named Rachel Whitfield. She spread everything across her conference table and spent 40 minutes reading in complete silence. Then she looked up. His case is built on absence. We're going to fill that gap with something Gerald's lawyer never bothered to look for. Rachel filed a formal request through the Judge Advocate General's office. A verified service record, sealed, court-authorized. They think you have nothing, she told me. This is going to be straightforward. They just don't know it yet. If this story is hitting close to home, drop a comment below. And stay with me, because what happens in that courtroom is worth every single second. The morning of the hearing, Gerald arrived in a new charcoal suit. Donna wore the same black dress and pearls from the funeral, same expression too, like she was assessing property value. Victor Hargrove walked in carrying a leather briefcase and a folder thick enough to look impressive. They had rehearsed. Gerald nodded at Victor. Victor nodded back. They were ready. So was I. Gerald took the stand. Steady voice. The performance of honesty. My daughter left at 17. I haven't seen her since. This woman showed up with forged papers and a story. And she expects a judge to hand over my late wife's savings. His voice cracked on the word wife. For 1 second, I almost believed he felt something real about Ruth. Then he straightened, cleared his throat, and the mask came back. Victor laid out his case. No tax records, no voter registration, 8 years with no civilian footprint. He placed 2 photographs in front of the judge. My junior yearbook photo at 17, beside my current defense contractor ID at 32. People do not simply vanish for 8 years, Your Honor. The absence is the evidence. He sat down, folded his hands. The posture of a man who believed his work was done. Then Rachel stood. She did not hurry. She reached into her briefcase and removed one sealed envelope, beige thick, with an official printed label on the front. She handed it to the bailiff without a word. Your Honor, we have one exhibit. This is a verified service record package from the United States Department of Defense, released under court authorization through the Judge Advocate General's office. It contains fingerprint verification, DNA confirmation, a complete and continuous assignment timeline from June 2012 to August 2020, and 2 partially declassified commendation certificates. It documents every year of Shelby Collins's life, continuously, without a single gap. The room shifted. I could feel it. Everyone leaned forward half an inch. Breathing got quieter. The judge opened the envelope. Read it page by page. Slowly. Then he removed his glasses and set them on the bench. He looked at the binder. Then Rachel. Then at Gerald. Rachel wasn't finished. She reached into a canvas bag beside her chair and placed a tin box on the table. Blue paint. Chipped corners. The box that had lived under Ruth's bed for 15 years. This contains 47 letters written by Shelby Collins to her mother over 15 years, and 39 letters Ruth Collins wrote back. Letters she composed but never mailed. Shelby Collins did not disappear from her family. Her mother knew exactly where she was every single year. Gerald stared at that tin box. His face changed, not anger this time. Something worse. Confusion. Then recognition. Then the slow, terrible understanding of a man realizing his ex-wife had a whole life he knew absolutely nothing about. The judge looked at me. Miss Collins, is there anything you wish to add to the record? I stood. My chair didn't scrape the floor. I had pushed it back carefully, the way you learn to move when every sound matters. I looked at the judge. Then I looked at Gerald. He was sitting with his shoulders forward, hands on his knees. He looked smaller than I remembered. Smaller than the man who stood in that hallway and told a 17-year-old to leave. I didn't plan what I said. It came out the way a door closes once. Final. Without echo. You erased me first. I sat down. Gerald's mouth opened. Nothing came out. The judge's voice was flat and measured. Counselor Hargrove, before filing this motion, did you contact the Department of Defense? The National Personnel Records Center? Any JAG office? Any federal employment database? Victor's jaw tightened. We did not, Your Honor. The judge nodded once. You filed an imposter claim against a verified military veteran of the United States Army without contacting a single military or federal agency to confirm or deny her service record. The motion to contest the will of Ruth Ellen Collins is denied. The estate will be distributed as written, and I will be referring this filing to the State Bar for review of professional conduct. Gerald slumped in his chair. Victor's hands weren't steady gathering his papers. Donna leaned over and whispered something sharp in Gerald's ear. It wasn't comfortable. It was to blame. Rachel touched my arm quietly. It's done. Outside, the air was cold and bright. March in Virginia. The trees were just starting to bud, and the parking lot smelled like wet asphalt and cut grass from the strip along the sidewalk. Gerald called my name from the courthouse steps. I stopped. I let the word land, my name, in his voice, after 15 years of silence and 6 months of denial. Then I turned. I didn't mean for it to go like this, he said. The lot is going under. I was desperate. I looked at him, this man who had handed me $42 worth of options at 17 and called it parenting. You made your choice, Dad. You made it when I was 17. And you made it again when you hired a lawyer to tell a judge I wasn't real. I hope you work it out. I mean that. But you and I are done. I turned and walked to my car. I didn't look back. 2 weeks later, I sat in Ruth's rocking chair on her porch. My porch now. The creek was still there on the left side. The same one Ruth had mentioned in her letters. I pulled one of her unsent letters from the tin box. My dear girl, you were always the bravest one, even when you were small. My mother spent her whole life saving. Not just money, proof that I existed. Proof that she loved me. Proof that the quiet daughter Gerald threw away was worth more than he ever understood. That's my story. 1 courtroom, 1 sealed envelope, and a tin box full of letters that said everything my father refused to. If someone in your life needs to hear this, share this video. Drop a comment, hit subscribe for more stories just like this one. And I'll see you in the next.